Columbus, Ohio, internationally known worldwide. Worth overcoming, rebuilding, teaching health. The official podcast. I got a special guest for y'all today. Mizz Nichelle, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Wallaby.
Well, we finally caught up with you. You're not at the radio station. No, we got you live and direct.
Okay.
So we about to go ahead and get started with you. I mean, I'm talking about it's a pleasure to have you. I really appreciate you for coming and being a part of this. We are at Federal to Incredible Studios, and I'm going to get into breaking down some things about life for us. We about to sit down. We about to have a conversation. We about to engage about you, your life, your world, what's been going on with you. Tell them about who you are, what you do for a living.
You know what? Who am I? I am Mizz Nichelle. What I do for a living, which doesn't define me. I work at the radio station, iHeart. I'm a co-host with City News on 106.7 The Beat and Throwback 105.3. But also, I mentor young mentees with Think, Make, Live as well. And then also, I'm a mom of two beautiful girls. And I'm the bomb.com. You know, that's who I am.
Well, me and her got a history. We go back. She always try to remind me of a story, and I want her to say it one more time because she always hit me with this special set of statements that I kind of try not to remember that she say I said. When she called me one time, I guess I was grinding so hard. I might have been in the streets with my trunk popped, when I was selling CDs. Those that know me well know that's what one of my famous mechanisms was, in the street selling my music. So my phone rang.
Yes.
I think I was, again, trunk pop, got the phone like, what's up, Wallaby speaking.
And that's how you answer the phone. So real quick backstory about my homegirl. I was bringing a artist in, Juicy Fruit, right? You ever, P Valley, the girl who sang the intro song, her. I was bringing her to the city, and my friend was like, get with Wallaby. He gonna help you out. He gonna get you together. He gonna bring the people, all that. I said, bet, give me his number. She got his number for me. I got excited. I called him up. He said, this is Wallaby. I said, hey, my name is Nichelle. I got this artist coming out. Her name is Juicy Fruit. You know what I mean? I think at the time, she had like maybe 20K people or something following. She got this and that. And he said, wait a minute. He said, do you know who I am? And I said, yeah, you Wallaby. He's like, man, he said, I'm Wallaby. That's what he said. You said, I'm Wallaby. And I was like, yeah, I got this person coming out. He's like, man, listen, this is what I do. I do this, I do that. Your person, I ain't never heard of her before. And this and that. I said, yeah, you're right. But that's why I'm bringing her to the city so people can see her.
I don't remember all that.
You don't remember that?
I do not remember all of that.
What do you remember?
She always tried to make it seem like this is how it was. People that know me know I am not the cocky person.
You was cocky
I am
that day.
not the rude guy. And if you meet people who say that, timing is another.
And then he said, because I was at Scully's, right? He was like, she ain't gonna pack out no Scully's. He's like, oh, no, you doing it wrong, babe. That's what you called me.
Well, what I tell people all the time in the music business is, I'm not saying if we never heard of this person,
you did,
we can't help them. But if we never heard of this person, we may not be able to help them. So at the end of the night,
yeah,
that's why in the game, with this podcast per se, worth overcoming, rebuilding, teaching, help. We all got room to grow. We all got room to get better at communicating. So, I went to school for business management, finance, entrepreneurship, and communication. So as an older man, I must admit that we do have to fine tune ourselves when you got a call coming from somebody like Mizz Nichelle. And I still got her number saved under Juicy. That's her other phone for the artist she was trying to bring. And I'm wondering, like, Nichelle, who the heck is Juicy? So that who Juicy must be is the famous person now, where I might have dropped the ball. So as you can see in life, what we learned is sometimes you got to know when to put your chill down.
Yeah.
And maybe I was just so excited. I was getting a call from somebody out of town, and I didn't handle myself appropriately. Maybe I didn't conduct myself like I was supposed to. So I apologize to you live on the air for you, Mizz Nichelle. So now this story is deaded. And I don't know if she's going to tell somebody else this.
I'm going to keep telling because you Wallaby. That's what you told me. Since
I've known her after this, she's always showed me ultimate love and support. City. At the radio station. What station are you at again?
I'm at 1067 The Beat.
1067 The Beat. They let me do massive interviews. Shout out iHeart. They let my daughter Nia J Beauty come on the air, interview for her fashion show. So I give props to everybody out there that still support me because I've been doing this for a long time.
I want to give a shout out to City because City is the one who opened the door for me. No, really, let me take that back. It was really IQ. So IQ was really the one who allowed me to be on the mic the first time. And he was like, it's Taste Test Tuesday. You remember that? Because, everybody know I love to eat. Mm-hmm. And he allowed me to taste the food and everything. And then when City came on board, he let me come on more full time. And I respect both of them because they gave me this opportunity. And one thing they gave me, what they probably do know or don't know, is confidence. Because, sometimes you don't have confidence. I was a person always in the background helping people. And that's where I was at with it. And I thought I was okay with it. But at the same time, deep down, I wasn't. Because I wanted to be up front. But, you have your own demons in yourself to be like, I'm not good enough to do things. Especially, you have the traumas and stuff you deal with.
Well, speaking of that, and see, this is what this whole podcast really is about. And we're going to get right into it because we ain't going to play games with y'all. She's on the air, I'm on the air, she's on the stage, I'm on the stage, she at clubs, I'm at clubs. We got a whole lot in common, so I think that's why we kind of always mesh when we work together. We was at the what was that? The Classic? What was we at last year together at the Ohio State?
The Columbus Classic.
The Columbus Classic. That's a shout out to Mr. Pace who put that together. She was doing like a lot of marketing and promotions, and then I was a part of the marketing promotions on the street level. Mm-hmm. So we came together, and
I put the tailgate together. That's what I did.
Well, it was still it was a good experience for us to see all these black people. I'm talking about it was Vivica Fox. I'm talking about the year with all the Cheryl Miller.
Oh, yeah.
What was the other comedian's name that was in House Party? What was his name?
I
forgot his name.
We had Pleasure P.
It was a lot of people. The lady who was with Donald Trump, the black lady, what was her name? The one that was chilling with Donald Trump for a while before he fired her. She went to Central State.
I know you're talking
about. I forgot her name too. But anyway, we ain't tripping. So let me ask you the first question. And we going deeper into homegirl's life. We gonna answer some questions where she can be honest about maybe her path and her journey in our lifetime, where we are today versus where we came from. First question I'm gonna ask you, and again, this is about knowing your worth, your self-confidence, your value, and all of that. It says you shared that you was faced with some trauma in your past as a woman, a mother, and a professional. At what point in your journey did you start to discover your worth, and what did that process look like for you?
Oh, it was when I was going through my separation with my husband is when I really realized my worth. I didn't realize any of that because I had masked myself for so many years. Going back to my childhood real quick, I was sexually molested. I was raped.
Wow.
My dad wasn't in my life. I watched my mom get beat. You see what I'm saying? Had a lot of abandonment issue. I couldn't stand men. I was against men because every man in my life, besides one, which my grandfather, rest his soul, did me wrong.
Wow.
So when I got in my marriage, I was like, I want this perfect life. You know what I mean? If I have kids, I want the perfect dad for them, I want everything. But I was so broken, I don't even know what that looked like. So how can I build something for that? So I'm building a fake life when I'm the one hurt inside because of all the trauma I've been through. And it was so bad to the point where growing up, being beat on, sexual assault, I put it on my kids. Because, I have this husband, this guy I'm marrying and everything else. And I look at him and see how he look at my daughters. I'm looking at him to see if he look at them in a sexual way. But that's my trauma. I'm putting it on him and my kids. You see what I'm saying? He ain't never did anything to make me feel that way, but I'm fishing for it. So now I have really no respect for him. So now I'm this woman who had all this anger and all this. And so, you know what I mean? It hit me when I told him I didn't want to be with him no more.
And that's how it happened. That's a powerful perspective that you just gave with your past trauma, not put on your kids in such a way where you couldn't handle it, but to wonder and have a curiosity about this man who made the baby with you. Is he like the men that you encounter?
Exactly. And so when you start doing that, because I started being like the masculine alpha. I started taking care of everything. I didn't want him to do nothing. But then at the same time, I wanted a man. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's not about that, but it kind of made me, because I got into the business world having this massive, a perfect life. In reality, I was a broken woman. You see what I'm saying? And I had this vision of a white picket fence, and it wasn't there. And then one day I was driving, and I think I told maybe 2 people this, my counselor and my best friend. I was driving, and I just did not want to be on this world no more. So I swerved into a ditch.
Did you?
Yeah. I swerved. Well, I swerved thinking I didn't want to be here, but I swerved into the ditch. And that was the day.
Actually went in the ditch.
I literally went
Drove to the ditch on your own.
On Black Eastern, yep. On Black Eastern.
How long ago was this?
About 2.5 years ago.
See, and y'all, and look, this is why it be serious when you put yourself in position to say, I want a podcast and I want to talk about some things, because as long as I've been knowing her, we always laughing and happy and smiling about something. And out of all the things I say to try to be sarcastic and funny with people, I've never heard this. I've never known that she even went through anything that she just shared with me. Like, I'm sitting here like, I'm normally not nervous or anything, but to hear this real trauma, like this is real trauma that she just now gave us, and we only been talking for 4 or 5 minutes. So it's interesting that this is where you really came from.
Yeah, I came from so much, pain and frustration and all that. But in the midst of that, it fast forwarding, and when you go through that one part and nothing happens, granted, you look goofy because you got to have people come help you out. They ask you what happened or whatever. You come up with the bullshit stuff. And so, in reality of it, it made me wake up. So that's when I went to okay, I don't want my husband. I don't want nothing. You know what I mean? I got to fix, I don't know what I want. So then I try to start finding myself. You know what I mean? What I really like doing. And that's when the radio came. And I just kind of was like, I like doing this. When I was a kid, I used to dance in the bathroom. So I thought I was going to be a backup dancer for a famous rapper. But we see how that worked, But anyways, so I just, I really just, I had to take that time. And I just was like, okay, God, how can I fix this? And when I told my husband at the time, I was like, I don't want to be with you or whatever. He was like, basically like, okay, all these years he had to deal with so many pains that I didn't realize I cost him, because I was always pointing the finger at him. You doing this wrong. You did this. You did this. You did this. But I never pointed it back at myself or everything I was doing wrong. My communications, the anger I had towards him when he never did anything, when other man did something to me, but I put it on him. So we're going to keep that there, I went back, but that's when I kind of got into the church. I got on my knees and I prayed. Like, Wallaby, when I tell you I got on my knees, I walked in my house, the condo that I fought so hard for, everything I had, I was by myself finally in that house. And I fell to my knees and I just started crying and I just started praying to God, like, God, this is not how I want my life to be. Fix me. Show me who I am. Show me. Give me the path that I'm supposed to be on. You got a destiny for me. Like, this is what I'm saying. I remember this time of me talking right in front of my door and I'm just like, help me, help me, help me. And, I feel like that's when God was really teaching me. But in the midst of it, I feel like that's when God gave me more of, when I asked him to give me confidence, he put me out in front of people. When I asked him to give me the strength, he gave me more problems. I feel like everything I asked for him, he made me go through like a storm with it. He didn't give it to me like, oh, I'm going to give you confidence so you're just going to walk on this stage and be the best speaker. I gave you confidence enough to get out there and you start stumbling on all your words. You know what I mean? I had a problem with speaking, growing up too.
And one would never believe that, especially hearing you on the radio. And
that's where I get critiqued the most.
And hold on, so because I don't want you to jump past me, because you
oh, my bad.
So on the overcoming segment of being resilient in life, it says, what's one of the toughest obstacles you had to overcome, and what mindset or support system helped you push through these moments before you was going to give up? And might have made it easier. So was this? You almost answered the question before I asked you. So was that the turning point? The higher power of the Lord and the righteousness that's within you is what you use. Is what turned the knob on your life.
Yep, I did. I prayed.
So after praying that night and that day, what energy did you use to become?
Yeah, I used God first. I used my kids, and I used myself. That's
See, and worth, overcoming, rebuilding. So we done did the worth with the trauma. Then the overcoming is because like you just said, the godliness in you, the righteousness that dwells within one. And I was just talking about this last night on the set I did with some brothers, and we were talking about the Jesus and the God and the way God is portrayed to be, how one uses that as a tool or their faith to be who they are or what they're going to become. Because we all had to go through some stuff. It's all the dark streets, dark alleys, dark roads, dark tunnels and paths that people had to take. Like I do manifestation of motherhood. Most of the times I interview mothers who was telling about their traumatic stories, stripping, drugs, drinking, alcohol, suicidal thoughts. And for me to ever even hear you talk about going into a ditch on your own, and it wasn't even none of those pitfalls, it was personal.
It was the demon
strifes and tribulations that you face and the trials of what people go through right now who will never tell you, who never get a chance to speak on it, and don't even have the help and the people in their corner.
So think about this, and one thing people don't feel like when you're in certain industries, you got people who got so much money, they end up killing themselves, they end up doing drugs, or anything.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You battle yourself to always be better. Sometimes I tell myself, damn, I wish I was on drugs so I can use that as a reason.
A lot of people on drugs right now, and they cannot escape their stress.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, what I realized to do is really to we make choices in life.
Absolutely.
How we look at things in life is the reason, is how things is gonna happen for you. So that's a choice. And that's what I had to install in myself. I did what I did because it was a choice. I looked at it in that capacity. And that's when I had to look at things different. That's true. You have to look at something different. If I want to be better, I got to look at it different to become better.
And one of my slogans is a positive perspective produces a positive performance. So with that being said, look, after experiencing so much, what steps did you take to rebuild yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, to become the woman you are today, now motivating people by being on the radio every day?
What
helped you rebuild?
I'm gonna say it 1,000 times. It was God, praying,
believing in yourself,
and
of course.
Believing in myself,
and being active on your footsteps,
and being active. You know what I mean? People would say to me like, "You don't do this, you can't do this right," and not taking it. Yeah, I didn't do it right. Doesn't mean I can't get it, but do it better. I didn't do it right this time, but next time I'll do better. And that's why I kept going. Just kept telling myself, I'm going to do better. I can do it.
The rumor is you made a football team.
I did.
Did they say, was that
so
real?
It was promo.
This is true.
This is true. So shout out to the
sorry, I had to break the ice.
The Columbus Chaos football team, women's Columbus Chaos football team. So I went out there. I was supposed to do a promo for the radio. Like, hey, we're gonna come out, help them support.
I seen her on YouTube. I seen her on internet. I'm like, what is she doing with the football players?
Let me shout out to Donnie, one of the coaches. Right, I was sitting there. He had me on the sideline. Right, we about to run to see how fast we can run. Okay, and I'm in the stand, and he's talking to me, but he's speaking nothing but positive. Like, focus on what you're doing, and how he was speaking to me gave me the drive to like do my best. Like, it wasn't a joke no more. And it was Donnie was in my
helmet,
ear.
Shoulder pads, equipment.
No, we didn't have nothing on.
No, I'm saying, is this what's going? What?
Tackling, yes, and for them to do that,
women can do anything.
Because it's more than just hitting. It's really like it's in your mind to do better. I bet you any football player would say they don't see nothing. They know hitting and everything else, but it's a discipline in your head. You going for something. It's a ball. You got to get that touchdown. Everything's a discipline in your head. Where you need to be, where you need to go, what position you're playing. Just like in life, you got a position you need to play. Where you going? What's the goal? It's same thing. It don't have nothing to do with anything. That's what I'm saying. When you think about sports, women, man, it doesn't matter what it is. It's a discipline. We go too far into the gender and man and women. You see what I'm saying?
See, y'all see, this is why perspectives matter. Some of an example of football, and she broke it down and mixed it up with life, decisions and choices and plays and coaching, and then the assistant coaches. You got the referees calling the plays. You got rules. See, and this is Sunday. This is a Sunday. Football's on right now. NFL, college was on yesterday. Football players everywhere. Before I met with her, I stopped at a Cleveland Browns. I think it was at the Point. The BOC, the Browns of Columbus. I was selling hoodies and T-shirts before I met with her. And they bought them. Look, they bought everything. But the thing is, I was coming to interview her, and I've just now been enlightened on her life, on her history, on where she really been. I mean, knew found respect for her as a friend in the entertainment business. This is why when you sit down with people and you build and you talk about the real life, how things can just transform that fast about, man, now I got to give her a higher pedestal because of what she didn't encounter, what she been through. And then when you see her, she's so happy for other people. This is why, you know, you got to love people that's in the entertainment field, because people forget about us. They forget about the things that we went through. I had open heart surgery when I was 3. Drugs and alcohol played a factor in my parents' lives growing up. My uncles and aunts, alcoholism, domestic violence, homicides in prison. I mean, so for me to be so willingly to help others get to where they going, like my brother, from federal to incredible. We just did a barter. We did a barter. So if nobody knows that, that's when you trade services.
What we used to do to survive.
The barter system is so serious for us men and women and black businesses, white businesses too. I mean, we ain't discriminating in this. The people that's in power right now, they putting us in a situation where if we don't come to a place to engage and meet and unify and uplift to support one another, definitely on a financial level, spiritually we would die, because we won't have the means to survive, to eat food, to work jobs, to help each other get by. So before we even get deep into that, of course, you know, I got another question for you, because you're knocking these down. You know you're a professional. So worth overcoming, rebuilding, now teaching. As a mother, what lessons do you make sure to teach your children about strength, healing, knowing their worth, especially in the world that doesn't always make it seem so easy?
I tell my kids all the time to be kind, positive, because this is a lot. We got a lot of negative in this world, so be kind, positive, but be yourself. Be yourself, no matter what. You know, I tell my kids all the time just to be them, and to speak up, because, you know, that's what I lacked off. I can just tell them what I lacked off of when it comes to this, you know, this world now. I tell them all the time, you are beautiful, so that I give them the confident looks. You are a positive woman. You can be positive to anybody. Don't put down people because they got to deal with that at home or wherever. And my kids are the sweetest girls. Mackenzie and Olivia, hey, they are the most sweetest girl, and they so confident. They have their confidence is bigger than mine, and I love it about them. So that's what I tell them. That's what I tell anybody. I still tell myself that too, to this day. And I will keep telling myself that, you know, confidence where it's going to get. So.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it feels good when you're able to release some stuff like people may not ever known before. I don't know if you've been on any other podcasts, but have you expressed this information to anybody else on the podcast?
So, you actually got me at a time where I had this problem to myself not too long ago. Like, it's about this show. Let me tell you something. I helped so many people. I helped out state reps, mayors, state senates, and city council people, and helped them get into office.
I see it. We watch it. You
can Google it. You know
we
what
see
I mean?
you.
I had put on big events to the point it was thousands to hundreds. I did one by myself at back to school. It was hundreds of families and resources, and I have done all of that. And I had looked at myself like I have done nothing.
And you know what? I don't know how she's doing this, but every time I'm about to ask a question, she's diving into it before I can ask her. So hold on. Okay. So you pour so much energy into uplifting others through your radio platform. How do you protect your mental and emotional health while being this consistent source and positivity toward the motivation for your listeners and others? You almost answered it, but continue.
I'm going to keep telling you. I'm not gonna lie. I know people. It's the prayer. It's the gospel in Him. It's God. Like, I'm telling you, my focus is on Him and my kids and what I'm destined on this world to do. And I know I'm here to connect people, to be there for people. That's why I love doing. I'm a people person.
Me too. I agree.
And I have everything.
Altruistic.
Let me tell you something. I have a speech impediment. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can read something and look backwards. In radio, you got to learn how to read, speak, and be fast with it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like God allowed me to be on the platform knowing that that's not my strong point. And when I mean my strong point, I mean how, you know, people think you're supposed to be. And He allowed me to still speak. So at the end of the day, it's like I just trusted Him and I just keep doing what I'm supposed to do. And one day, I might be still on the radio from 10 years from now, and I might not. And I'm okay with that. And it's not even about the radio. The radio is just a platform. It's about me, It's about Mizz Nichelle. You see what I'm saying? It's about me. It's not about that. It's about me helping others. It's about me allowing businesses and coming on to be able to express what they have going on, connecting people. You know what I mean? It's about being around, having that good support. You know, I have my support system, amazing. Me and my dad's relationship, I had a situation with my, amazing. You see what I'm saying? You know, my friends, amazing. Even my co-host, City, amazing support system after that. You see what I'm saying? It's so many people, my mom.
And I know your mom. Didn't she have a radio station? Didn't she have didn't your mom, you said, what did your mom, I know your mom from where? What did your mom do?
So a lot of people know my mom from back in the day. So you remember the Tears, right? They used to have a football team.
Okay.
My mom used to be a Boy Scout leader.
Okay.
For out there in the Tears. She was
shout out to the Tears, WTP.
Yes. So a lot of people know my mom from that. She had her own home care business too as well. My mom just, you know, she been out here. She's a veteran.
But when I seen your mom at the reception, remember we had noon.
I don't know because you be everywhere. So who knows where you know my mama from? From me, and y'all was like, she's like, yeah, I know him. Who knows? She, you know what I mean? She got like 100 different degrees. I said degree. You know what I mean? You know, my mom, she's a bomb.com. My mom.
Well, see, and you know, my dad was in and out of prison. Wasn't there for me like the average dad was, but my dad showed me what not to do. So I always give my dad a high praise because I got brothers and sisters that he put on the planet, and we all tight.
Yeah.
For the brothers and sisters that I don't know what my dad was up to. You know, Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And, but what I'm trying to say is, my mom was always the major threshold to everything that I do. To this day, for all the, I ignored her call. I told her I'm doing a podcast. I'm gonna call her right back. I hate when that happens. But she texts me, let me know everything is all right. But when moms are there for us, you've been a mother, me being a father.
I am a mother. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing when a mom and a dad is there for their child, equal. I'm talking about when it's equal, or if mom is better than dad and dad is lacking, real moms still don't put the dads down. They try to, and I'll let you elaborate on that. Do you put your guy down to your children?
No. Even when we go, no. My one thing I won't ever do.
Real woman right here, you feel me?
I won't ever, because the most important thing, like you said, a kid need a mom and a dad. If I put that man down, my kid's gonna lose something. They're gonna lose that security or anything, and I can only give them so much.
Especially the trauma you have with men.
Exactly.
That wouldn't be fair to them.
It wouldn't be fair.
Absolutely.
And I want them to have that, because I can't give them everything. A man can give my daughter, their dad gonna give them something that I can't give them.
And you know, for my daughter, I try to be a great protector, a great role model, and she's taken on so many of the things that I've done and doing it, I'm gonna say, if not better than what I was, because she only 20 and I'm in my 40s, and she's showing me things that I should have done. And this is where the higher power of God through us works through our children. Because,
can I say something real quick? And I want to go off on everything. When you said, let's go back to your dad real quick.
Yes.
Your mom, and you said your dad wasn't there.
Well, he was there, but he was absent in the way.
Do you ever think about our parents? They either had a bad situation, they had a worse situation, and they had to either pick one that would still be better for you, even though it make them look bad. So one thing I realized with our parents, we be so mad at them. And I don't know if you was, but I'm pretty sure you had.
Not only was I not mad at him, but I was proud of the progress that he started to make. As I got older and he got older, he became a little better man than what I thought, because I seen that his work ethic was impeccable. And then when he passed away at 50, the people that I known that always talk about my dad spoke so highly of his attitude, his protector style, his funniness. And then as I recognized what my grandma, his mom, Gloria, she loved my dad. His brothers and sisters, they loved him because, again, him being a protector. So minus the drugs and alcohol, I'm going to give my dad a big shout out for all my brothers and sisters. And then the stuff that I did see him do, he ended up getting him a house, having his cars. He was with me the night he passed away. We went to the grocery store together. See, so I ain't taking away nothing from my dad, because my name is Walter. My dad's name was Walter. My son's name is Walter. So all we're doing is really using Walter through Walter, to make ourselves get better for our children. So I thank my dad for giving me life, giving me the opportunity to even know of him, because he could have died before I was even here if he was that lost. So he married my mom. My mom and dad was married. So I see baby pictures with me, my mom, and my dad when I'm a baby. So I definitely wanted to be married, and that's why I'm married to this day to my wife with my children.
Shout out to that. How long y'all been married for?
I've been married for about maybe 6 years, but I've been with my wife for 28 years. Shout out T-Dog, baby. I love you, Tina. Y'all know what time it is. So, and she got me doing some stuff that I normally don't do and breaking down my family demonstration for my mom. My son is 24. He's in Mexico right now on his way back from a cruise. It's like his second or third. I ain't even left the country yet, and he's already done that.
But don't that feel good? But that's how our parents, this is what I was going to get to.
My daughter 20, and then my son is 12. His name is Kyrie. So I got children.
Your kids is doing amazing. And what you've been through and your dad been through, but it's still that you doing something right because you give them that next life.
She interviewing me. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, see, this work overcoming, rebuilding, teaching, health gets serious because we build in politics, and I told her we was going to sit down and have a conversation and talk about real life. So she talking about she was going to get emotional. She got me sitting there thinking about all the days I spent with my dad who died at 50.
Yeah.
And we sitting here engaging about again. She's like, wait, interviewing me, because she's used to be on that radio, so I can't let her just take over this whole segment. But I appreciate it because this is what shows the people out there why life matters. And if we didn't even sit down and have this interview, we wouldn't even have had this conversation. So when I leave, I might have a higher way of thinking about my next 20 minutes with my children, my next 24 hours with my family, to be happy and thankful that I still got this 2-parent household with all of my children and grandson. I got a grandson, my little grandson, Toronto, he 2. So that generation right there been right in my household, 3 generations right there. And my dad, without him, guess what? None of us would be here.
And that's where I get to. That's why I had to look at it different. And that's what I was going to say, because I was so mad at my dad. Ooh, I was so mad at him. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was so mad at that man. But then I had to look at it different in his childhood and what he went through. And I was like, he's a human being. He went through his trials and tribulations. And once I did that, let me tell you something. Our relationship, during this situation, he been one of my biggest supporters. He called me every day, sent me text messages. He helped me through so much. So, when it comes to our parents, I say give them grace. And me being a mentor to these young kids, and they be mad at their parents. They be like, my mom this, my dad did this. And I said, just give them grace, because it will help you heal and move forward. When we give somebody grace and not try to, hold on to what they did wrong to us and give them real grace, you will move on.
And you know what? And that's real, because when I do say something about my dad, it'll be what he did in the past.
Yeah.
It's like what he used to do or whatever he did that time, and it ain't about that, because I made mistakes. The mistakes I made. I don't want you to hold me accountable for it. When I made that one bad choice, every time you see me, that's what it is. What about what I've done now? What about what I'm doing now? What about where I'm headed? Where are you going to end up when we get done with this journey? Because life's a journey. We all going to drop dead one day. You see Harriet Tubman, Muhammad Ali. I'm talking about dreams, believe. From Federal to Incredible. We in Federal to Incredible Studios. From Federal to Incredible Studios. These brothers was in prison for 10, 15, 20 years from their hiccups. We ain't gonna say wrongdoing, because they could have been surviving. They could have been taking care of business, and somebody told on them. Somebody might have broke down on them. And that could have been.
Last year I was around. Remember I told you I couldn't stand men. God put me around. I was around nothing but men, and they all was incarcerated for 10 plus years for something with drugs, killing, whatever.
And what they doing now? Now, are they doing something better?
They doing, listen.
Better than us. More money than us.
And positive.
Hey, I shout out anybody that been to prison that came home who got more money than both of us. More property, land, businesses. I'm talking about where we at right now. Shout out to the homie Dion right now from Federal to Incredible. I'm talking about the brother got a lawn care business, God's Green Earth. I'm talking about the brother got so many different endeavors. I'm using his studio right now for my platform. He used to come to my shows and support me and see me do my thing.
And you see how that works.
And now we in here. He just now ate some food with us, broke some bread. He got his hoodies over here. He giving these belts away to brothers who actually are incredible now because they came home and changed their life. So it's crazy. Listen, put your hands on this with me, because you just now was representing some brothers that probably need to come on this show.
Shout out to EJ. He has a book. EJ out there got his own book about his life doing big. Shout out to Juvie, James. Let me tell you, he got his own mentor program going on for them kids. You know what I mean? It's so many people I want to keep going out. Terry, shout out to him. He got his own so many guys out here.
From Federal to Incredible. See, what we doing is, and this is what you do for your brothers and sisters. See, this ain't just about Wallo Nichelle, radio station, entrepreneur here, Worth podcast. Nah, it's the whole system. Like I said, the barter system is for us to trade, be able to help each other get to where we're going and get to a next level. I wish you the best on your journey. I wish you the best in life. I wish your children the best in life, your mother, your father, nieces and nephews, everything that you touch. If you go to the Super Bowl somehow, from this football plight that you about to do. Hey, and she got her shoulder out. She could be a football player. Y'all see her shoulder. She's a little bulky. All I'm saying to everybody out there is this was a great this is a great interview for me, because I was able to learn something new about my friend, a business partner, a person who's helping me through many different channels, just off of maybe a phone call. Maybe she called me, needed me with something. She was on my daughter's platform just last year at the Columbus Metropolitan Library downtown. Shout out to DJ again, my daughter. But we're going to continue to push our young people, youth empowerment, stay out the streets, hood solid. This is what this is about. We're going to continue to engage. We're going to continue to enlighten people about other people. Like she just now gave a shout out to some people I don't know, but we need to find out who those guys are. See if they need to come on this show so they can tell about their story, where they came from, where they headed, where they going, and why we got to uplift our YNs, and I call YNs young nobles.
Yes.
See, I call them young nobles. For anybody that got that twisted, the young nobles is who we after. We trying to make sure we save these young men and these women, because the YNs just ain't men.
Especially
the girls,
especially our young ladies.
the ladies.
And you know what? And that's the thing. As women, we just got to pour more into these women and men too. You know what I mean? Y'all understand? Like, you have daughters. If you see another lady out here, you know what I mean, still uplift her in a positive way. And that's all we can do right now.
Well, and you know, I got music, I got songs, Black Love, She Bad. People see me post videos every other day about my song She Bad. It ain't about the disrespect for the woman. We do admire the beauty of a woman, and that's what that song entails. But Black Love was about having that woman you really care about, you really love. Because those women that I post, I hope somebody loved them. I hope that they got children and fathers or husbands and men that's there for them, to take them out to eat and buy them flowers and make sure that they happy mentally, physically, financially. That's really what this life's all about. So even for you that been married, not married, because of your own demonstration in life, hopefully you find some happiness again with the other half, because our lives consist of teaching our children what we want best for them. And I think that's what this is all about. And we can keep going on and on, I'm sure. It's a Sunday, so it's a beautiful thing that you gave me some time. We was able to break down where we at, where we going, and where we headed. I'm gonna let you get out of here. Is there anything else that you want to share, maybe with the world, about, again, overcoming all the strife and trials and tribulations you encounter, but being in a position now with knowing your worth and rising up to wherever you going?
Listen, this ain't gonna be this is the first time, but it's not gonna be the last time you guys see me like this in camera, because there's more to come. I got so much more coming. I just want you guys to be blessed, stay prayed up.
And do you got anything, anywhere they can follow you to catch up with you? Like,
yes.
Do you got any handles? Do you got a Facebook? Do you got an Instagram or Twitter?
IG at mz.nichelle. It's Nichelle, not Mushelle. It's Nichelle. Follow me on all platforms of that. Is Mizz Nichelle. Listen, we're going to have, I'm excited. Like, just follow me.
Well, I'm thanking you for coming on the podcast today. We had 38 minutes of you. From Federal to Incredible Studio, this is where we was at. And I appreciate your time. I hope you make a whole lot of money, touch a whole lot of lives, and keep on helping people. Give your station another shout out. What was it again?
1067 The Beat with my guy City News, my girl Janice. Hey, make sure y'all check us out Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hey, right on your station.